Hello, at the end of day 14. So today I've been doing some experimentation and I've been experimenting with the single prompt structure actually to get that up to speed and just to see how it would perform. And it turns out that the single prompt with GPT 4.0 performs better than the flow that I built with 4.0 mini and also with 4.0. So let me just show you what the previous flow I was doing looked like. So I have a greet and capture name node, then I identify the service. Depending on whether they want consultancy or development, I will then either navigate them to the consultancy page and close the call, or I will take them through a qualification process if they want development. And then depending on whether they're qualified or not, they either get redirected to a hidden discovery call page to book a free discovery call, or if they're not qualified, they're navigated to a contact form page. And following this final navigation, the call is closed. Now, in the lead qualification stage, I have a number of different nodes, actually, a different node for each phase of that, like identify use case, establish timescales, determine budget, record feedback. Now, the reason this isn't working very well is that often on calls, this will happen out of order. So I thought that having simple nodes and running with GPT 4.0 mini was actually some kind of win. But now I think that maybe I was missing the point. I think actually the power in flows will be handling situations where you need a certain task completed before proceeding, or when the overall call flow is so complex and or long that you can't have a reliable single prompt. So I'm transitioning to a different call flow like this. So firstly, in the initial node, you greet them and get permission to record the call. And you can't proceed beyond that until you have their permission. Then another node will serve to redirect based on what they're interested in. Are they interested in consultancy, development, or they just want to ask some questions about voice AI? And then each of these nodes are actually quite complex. So for the qualify for discovery call, this can actually be the entire single prompt that I put together for the simple bot, right? So then it deals with all the stages of the discovery in whatever order needs to be done. It just merely has to establish that all of the required variables have been populated before moving on, and it has access to multiple tools, all the tools that it needs to complete this. So if it wants to handle a Q&A, that can also be quite a complex prompt where I give it all of the details of the business, some of the interesting things about voice AI, and if they need any other details, then I can direct them to the contact form. And similarly for the consultancy details page, rather than just, if they're interested in consultancy, directing them to the consultancy booking page, I can also capture some interesting details that will assist me on the consultancy call itself. So all of these can be complex stages. And this also lends itself to prompt and agent composability, actually, because you can build your agents like an appointment setter, a sales bot, a different lead qualifier. All these you can build separately and then integrate them into like a master bot. And you just have to then intelligently manage how transitions between those different nodes are managed. So yeah, this is what I'm working on at the moment. Haven't got anything really ready to demonstrate yet though, so I'm just going to leave it at this. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say today. So yeah, hopefully have something to demo tomorrow though.